Good day, YouTube, and welcome back to the Trooper's Garage. On today's episode, we're actually going to take a little field trip over to the fire station where the Trooper's going to show you an easy method to make some effective carrying straps for the wood cribbing that you keep on your pumpers, engines, and rescues. So without further ado, let's get at it. Alright, here's a look at our cribbing compartment right now. As you can see, the straps have already been applied to our cribbing, but you'll also notice we color coordinated the cribbing. We decided a compartment of nothing but yellow straps or red straps would lead to a lot of confusion and time wasted on scene. So on the right hand side, our standard 4x4 cribbing has yellow straps on it. Right in the middle of the compartment, black straps went to things that go down on the black top. So our step chocks and our tire chocks have black straps, and then on that left hand side, all of our wedges have red straps on them. Alright, so before we get started on the project itself, I've gathered together the supplies that I'm going to use to accomplish this task. So to start off with, we got the webbing. I have the three colors that I'm going to be working with, obviously red, black, and yellow. This is 1.5 inch single ply webbing. I would go 1.5 inch or maybe even 2 inch, but I wouldn't go any narrower than that. Reason being is narrower webbing will tend to rip sometimes, and also too it's a little bit harder to work with when we have our heavy duty extrication or fire gloves on. So you can find this stuff on Amazon or hardware stores or even some military surplus stores. A good pair of scissors to cut the webbing with. EMT shears work pretty good. Those X shears cut through this webbing like butter. So up here in the left hand corner you can see I've got a butane torch. That's just so I can go ahead and seal up the cut ends of the nylon, otherwise it's going to start fraying really bad on me. Other things I've gathered together here, I'm using number 8 1.25 inch wood screws. There's a variety of different sizes of wood screws that'll work for this project on getting the nylon to the wood. I wouldn't use anything shorter or smaller because it's going to have a tendency to break or pull right out of the wood. And then that being said, the rest of the stuff, obviously drill bits to drill the holes, a tape measure, a black magic marker, and I'm going to be using some heavy duty washers, and then obviously my drill. Alright, as you can see, I've pre-drilled the holes inside the cribbing. It's a good 1 inch or 1.5 inches in from the edges of the wood, and that's just going to help prevent splitting and splintering of the wood while in use. Okay, time to measure and cut the straps. So I'm going to recommend that you measure these out to about 24 or 30 inches for each strap, and that may seem really excessive to some of you, but I'm telling you right now, I've seen people cut short straps on their cribbing, and it makes it incredibly difficult to work with when we have our fire gloves on, our extrication gloves on, and our bunker gear on. I want to be able to loop my arm or put my arm through these loops while I'm wearing my bunker gear, and if you cut the straps too short, it makes it incredibly difficult to work with while we're wearing all of our PPE. After I cut these straps, I'm going to take my butane torch and I'm going to seal the ends up. If you skip over this step, the ends of your nylon are going to fray like crazy, and those straps are just going to start falling apart. So trust me, do not skip over this step. If you don't have a butane torch like this, you know, spend the extra 15-20 bucks. They're well worth it. You can use them on all kinds of different projects, and it makes it so easy. You can use a cigarette lighter on this part. Just remember, cigarette lighters are not meant to be lit for long periods of time, so make sure you're letting it cool off in between straps. Otherwise, you run the risk of that lighter exploding in your hands. Okay, I just realized that I forgot to mention you should probably have a soldering iron for this. And I'm not going to go back and re-record everything because I'm too lazy. But trust me, soldering iron for this part, really important piece of equipment. You'll notice, again, just like with the wood, I'm doing this about an inch in from the edge to keep the nylon from splitting and fraying and cutting and whatnot. But soldering iron just melts a nice, neat little hole for our screw to go in through later. It seals everything up, just like we did with our butane torch to keep the nylon from fraying. All right. Now you may be wondering, well, why don't I just, use my drill and a drill bit to do this part? Well, reason being is that because nylon cord is basically just a bunch of, yeah, that's why. So the nylon straps that we're using is just basically thousands of nylon fibers all sewn together. And as you can see, when you try to drill a hole in it, it doesn't really work like that. The nylon either spins up around the drill bit, gets all caught up in it and whatnot. With a lot of effort and some cussing, yeah, you can kind of get it to work, but almost everyone out there has a soldering iron, so trust me, that is way easier than drilling holes through the nylon strap. Alright, we're about ready to start assembling these, so I am going to put together some screws and washers real quick just to kind of expedite the process a little bit. So at this point you may be tempted to skip putting the washers on your cribbing here. Take a piece of advice from me, don't do that. The washer helps keep the strap from getting pulled right off that screw head, because that will happen. The first time I made these, I didn't put washers on, and one good tug pulled those straps right off. So don't skip this step and save yourself some time in the long run. And now it's just a matter of driving the screws into the pre-drilled holes and through the straps and getting all of our chocks done. Alright, and here's a look at the finished product. Nice wide strap, big fat loop, real easy to grip onto when we're wearing our PPE, be it extrication gloves or even our structure gloves. Also makes it easy to grab on that loop with a tool, so if you want to use a pike pole or a Halligan or something to pull a piece of cribbing out from underneath a load. More importantly, real easy to get your arm through those loops even while wearing a bunker coat. Alright everybody, well that's pretty much my entire process for making the carrying straps on the cribbing. Hope you found the video to be useful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, go ahead and leave us a note down in the comment section. I do try to answer those as quickly as possible. If you find the content to be useful, give us a like, maybe follow me. I come up with some decent stuff once in a while, or don't. That's fine too. But anyways, Trooper 134 signing off, and I hope you have a great day. To be helpful, give us a like, give us a follow if you want to, if you like the content. If not, shit, that's okay too. Oops, I just said shit. God damn it, I just said it again.